Following up on the release of Transformers Rise of the Beasts in cinemas comes the highly anticipated Studio Series Optimus Prime figure. Demand for this set was so high that where I live, official pre-orders for the initial batch were only opened 2 days prior to release and completely sold out shortly thereafter. But was it worth the wait? Although this figure rightfully belongs to the Rise of the Beasts Studio Series line, Hasbro has seen fit to assign it as a numbered release in the buzzworthy Bumblebee line, and I have no clue why. If you do, let me know down in the comments below. Looking over the figure, I feel that its strongest aspects can be best illustrated through a direct comparison with the Studio Series 38 Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie. First off, I think that the cherry red on this figure really works to help it pop a lot more on the shelf compared to its predecessor, along with being more movie accurate in color reproduction as well. Secondly, Hasbro has done a really good job in reducing the visible kibble, especially on the arms as well as the back of the figure. Lastly, the overall proportions of the figure have seen an improvement in a few areas, notably the size of the head in relation to the rest of the body, the torso due to the aforementioned better managed back kibble, and the replacement of the oversized, almost rectangular feet on the Bumblebee model with smaller, more accurately sized feet on the Rise of the Beasts model. Unfortunately, this direct comparison also serves to highlight some of the areas where the new figure may have taken a step back. For one, there is a lot of unpainted light grey plastic used throughout the model, especially in the neck and abdominal area as well as the legs, which gives off a slightly cheap feel. Another slight negative was just how huge the smokestacks have become on the shoulders compared to Studio Series 38. Seriously, these things are absolutely massive and I couldn't unsee it once I noticed the size difference. Figure articulation is uniformly great. You get a standard ball joint under the nicely designed head sculpt, which features a lot of detail and provides a good range of side to side and up down motion. The arms can rotate a full unobstructed 360 degrees and can lift up almost 90 degrees to the side. It's worth noting that unlike the Studio Series 38 Optimus Prime, there isn't a butterfly hinge in the shoulder, so unfortunately you won't be able to get that additional front and back motion. The elbow gets an impressive bend thanks to a double hinge. The hand can rotate and hinge slightly also. Waist swivel is 360 degrees unobstructed and you even get a 90 degrees ab crunch which forms part of the transformation. Interestingly, the legs can kick up this high forward beyond 90 degrees thanks to the use of a double joint, but can only move slightly backwards, so do keep that in mind when trying to pose this figure. Bend at the leg is a standard 90 degrees, and the ankle can hinge slightly forward and back and pivot at the ankle to a great degree. Everything combined with rock solid tolerances allows for this figure to excel in striking a variety of hero poses. In terms of accessories, prepare to be underwhelmed as you only get access to a comically small and unpainted blaster attachment as well as an energon sword. The blaster can be attached by opening a panel in the forearm and folding the hand in to reveal a peg where the attachment can go. The sword can either plug directly into Optimus's hand or this hole above it, although the latter is obviously the movie accurate way. Interestingly, the instructions tell you to slot the blaster attachment into his left hand and the sword on the right, whereas in the movie it's actually the other way around. 0 out of 10 for movie accuracy. When not in use, weapons can be packed into the backpack like so, which is a nice touch of weapon storage that the design team should be commended for. Transformation wise, I really won't delve too much into it since it's fairly simple to execute and very similar to other Optimus Prime transformations that have come before it, in terms of just making the torso sit at a right angle to the legs. I think the designers have done a good job in evenly distributing the red kibble panels that form the cab of the truck across Optimus's back, arms, and shoulders. Again, I also have to give props to weapon storage as the sword can be wedged in between the legs and the blaster added to the peg, here like so. Truck mode looks decently clean, especially on the front, with the exception of the blue plastic peeking through just under the top of the front grille. Different story on the back, as it's really quite unsightly, with the blue thigh pieces just folded upwards and packed into the cab, with barely any cleanup. There's also a noticeable gap between the legs, and the feet are just sticking out the back awkwardly. This continues to be an area which Hasbro really needs to address in the future. Overall, I think this figure is going to be quite popular, as it is the best looking official Optimus Prime from the movie that can actually transform. It has a few strengths going for it, such as the fantastic board mode and great articulation, and a transformation that is relatively simple to learn and master. However, it also has quite a few shortcomings, like the extensive use of fairly cheap looking grey plastic, the lackluster accessories that come with the figure, as well as the mediocre truck mode. In fact, I would even go so far as to say that if you are not too concerned about the transformation and just want to focus on prioritizing aesthetics, then the official licensed YOLO Park AMK series Optimus Prime model kit would absolutely blow the Studio Series figure out of the water while not costing significantly more. I'm going to give this figure a 7 out of 10.